Hello everybody, I'm Fraya Thompson and I'm here to teach you a tune that I composed for beginner harpists. It's called the White String Waltz and it goes like this. And that's the whole tune. So one of the things that makes this tune quite easy to learn is that we only ever play white strings on the harp. The first phrase starts with our second finger on a D and our thumb on an E. We're going to play the D and then we're going to place all of our fingers on the white strings that are consecutive. So we're not going to have any gaps apart from the red string. And we place them as a gang, as a group of fingers. And then our second finger is going to come flying over the top and land right there on the G. And then that's the first time that we have no fingers on the strings. So we've got 3 moments of placing in that first phrase. Don't get frustrated if you can't do it straight away, you will be able to do it. We play our D, we put all 4 fingers on, our second comes over the top, and then we've got it. And we get some good value for our effort because we're going to hop up to the G and we're going to put our thumb on the A and we're going to do really similar placing. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. We're going to play the G with our second finger. We're going to place all of the white strings, and here's the difference. Our second finger plays the D that our fourth finger has just played. So we have to play our fourth before we can put our second on, otherwise it would just be right in the way and it would sound like doink. So that second phrase again, we play our G, we place all our fingers, we go down the way, we play D once and then twice. Our third phrase is the same as our first phrase, which you will find happens a lot in Celtic folk music. It goes like this. Hop your second over. And we're all ready for our final phrase of the first part. We're going to put our third finger on D down here beside middle C, our second on E and our thumb on G, and we're going to play up the way. Our second finger is going to come under onto the A, but not just yet. Here. thumb goes onto the B, and before we play our thumb, we're going to put our second and our third back on the white strings, and we're going to go down the way to the G. So there's 3 moments of placing there for you as well. Our first moment is second on the A, thumb on the B, and then, so there's actually 4 moments of placing for you right there. Really important not to fall off of the strings. At first, placing in advance, placing in the direction that you're playing in, might seem a little bit tricky and a little bit challenging, but you're really going to thank yourself for it in the long run. It's really going to be worth it, because it means that we're anchored onto the harp strings a lot of the time. And it means that you can pay your left hand a little bit more attention once you're ready to learn your left hand, feeling that solid connection to the strings. So we're not going to do fall off the harp, fall off the harp, fall off the harp. We're going to link it all together beautifully. Second under, thumb on B, 3 fingers in a row. Lovely. So that's the first part. Let's just practice it together one more time before we move on to the second part. There is a repeat in the music, so once you've got it all down and you're playing it really well, you'll be repeating the parts anyway. That also gives you a chance to add some dynamics, some loud and quiet once you get there. Here we go. We're going to start with our second finger. Place 4 fingers, second comes over the top. Very long note gives us time to hop up to G and A. Place 4 fingers, 2 Ds. Lovely. First phrase and third phrase are the same. Second hops over the top. Ready for the 4th phrase, 1, 2, 3 fingers. Second comes under, thumb on B, 3 in a row. Excellent. So, hopefully you're feeling ready to go on to the second part. If you don't feel ready, just pause the video, give it some practice, slow it down, remember to breathe, have fun, and then you can press play and you're just about to find out about the second part. Here we go. We're going to start with our thumb on G, our second on E, and our third on D, remembering that we're only going to play white notes in this tune. So we're going to go down a group of 3, down a group of 3, down a group of 3, and then repeat the A string. So our really good learning point here is that each time, just before we play our third finger, we're going to place our thumb again. And before we play our thumb, we're going to place our 2 and our 3 again. And then we're going to place our thumb, and then we're going to place our 2 and a 3. And we repeat the A. The first time we played it with our third, and the second time we played it with our second finger. Just distributing the effort there with our double notes. So let's try that again. Double A. And then we're going to do a really similar thing with our second phrase, but this time we're going to start with our thumb on E. And we're going to do white notes. And now we have a little change to the pattern. We're going to put our 4th finger onto the harp as well. So we're doing all of the white notes in a row. That is B, A, G and E. And we're going to go down the way. Nice long E note there, which gives us time to hop back up to the G for our third phrase. Double A. And our 4th phrase is the same as the 4th phrase in the first part. So hopefully you'll be feeling a little bit confident now with all of your placing in direction of play. We're going to go up the way from the D. Second goes under onto A, thumb on B, down 3 notes. And there we have the whole of the second part. Thumb jumps up to the G, lots of placing here. Double A, and then we go from the E. Place 4 fingers this time. hop up to the G with your thumb. And the fourth phrase is the same as the first part. Fourth phrase. So, once you're feeling confident with the melody, I am going to give you the left hand. Once again, if you want to pause, I think that's always a good idea. Give yourself a chance just to let it settle in. Our left hand, we're going to use 1 and 3. And I am doing my very best thumbs up, finger down that I can do to start off a good habit. And we're doing a 5th chord, which means our 3rd finger is on the G and our thumb is on the D. And when we play that, we can do a little pinch in. Imagine that you're holding a precious butterfly in your hand. And you might take your hand away from the strings a little bit to make that easier, because what we're trying to avoid is flicking. So the whole of the left hand pattern is set out in 5ths. So we start to think in terms of chords. The 3rd finger is on the root note of every chord. So this to me is a G chord. And then I go down to the D chord, which for you is probably easier to think about a D with an A on the top, which is 5 strings up if you count the D. D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our D5 chord. And then we go back to our G. And if we put that together with our right hand, the D chord comes with the B note. And then the G chord comes in again with the G note there. So we've got G chord, D chord coming up here, and then the G chord. And then we're going to play one G chord all on its own with the left hand. And that helps us to count time, and it gives us a chance to jump our right hand up to G and A. Our next chords are going to be G to the E, which has a B on top, which is the 5th, and then we move down 1 string to the D. And we do the D twice as well. And I'm saying D because my 3rd finger is on the D, but of course the chord has an A in it as well. So that will sound like this. Extra D in the left hand, and then we go back to the beginning. 3rd phrase now, but it's the same as the 1st. And then an extra left hand. We're ready for the 4th phrase already. Now we've got an upbeat in this right hand phrase, so the D gets played on its own. And with this E note, we're going to play the E and the B. This is equivalent of what would be an E minor chord in this key. And then we move down 1 string to the D, and we resolve on the G. And then we do a little extra chord in our left hand. So when you do that on its own, it's the E with the B, the D with the A, 1 string down, and then hopping back up to our root chord, the G, and playing it again. I like to just try and play the one that's in the gap, just play it quite lightly, and it just keeps a nice sense of lightness in the piece of music. I'm going to race on to the 2nd part. If you want to pause, you're welcome. Our 2nd part, we've got these groups of 3 in our right hand, and the left hand follows the right hand. We've got this G5, we've got E5, and and we've got D5. And if you look at the right hand here, we've got our thumbs on the G, our thumbs on the E, and then our thumbs on the D. And when we put them together, we have the G's together, we have the E's together, and then we have the D's together. This time it's with an A. And then we come to our second phrase. And our left hand is going to do exactly what our right hand does, but it's going to go one octave lower. So this is a little bit of agility training for your left hand. 4 fingers this time. So your left hand starts on the E, thumb goes on the D, thumb goes on the G, and you place 4 fingers that last time. I think you probably want to take some time to practice the left hand and the right hand separately. Our third phrase is the same as our first phrase, so we've got the G chord, down to the E chord, and then the D chord. And then we know our fourth phrase already. We go up 1 string to the E5, down 1 string to the D, and then up to the G. Then we do one on its own. Let's repeat the second part. G chord, to the E chord, to the D chord, repeat the D chord, unison, octaves. And then we do the first phrase again. E minor, D5, 1 string up to the E5, to the D5, to the G, and then a quiet G on its own. And that's it. You've learnt the whole tune. Give yourself a very, very well done. You might even want to give yourself a pat on the back, if not a shoulder rub. And I hope you enjoy the piece of music. Thank you very much. Bye.